Yes, people, we're back in the house, and this time we are here to review episode 5 of Hawkeye. As you know, we've been doing 2 episodes at once because we had to catch up with a lot of stuff. But we finally have the time to just do 1 episode. So we're gonna deep dive into this one, and it was a good one. It was a good one. Just to say, he hasn't watched it yet. But he doesn't mind it being spoiled.
No, so I'm hearing just like you guys.
Yeah,
so I'm
this is down to me and you.
I'm here for the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Yep.
Right. So what's going on? What's going on?
So the last episode was left with Hawkeye, Kate Bishop fighting Maya and Yelena, which is Florence Pugh, Black Widow's sister, on the rooftop of that building, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to let them know what what
so
happened
basically
afterwards?
it picks up pretty much straight after that. The next day, we see Kate go back to her mum crying because she's been told to stay away, and she's generally scared that like, the stakes have risen. As we said in our last episode, the stakes are definitely there now when he mentions that Black Widow's been sent. Hawkeye goes to the home of the guy from the dress up interplay thing, to hide out there for a little bit and recuperate. And we get to see Florence Pugh in all of her majesty just turn up and have a great scene with Hayley.
Yes.
So there's this scene which you'll love it when you see it. It's a great bit of
in her
script.
flat, innit?
Yeah, and basically she's trying to establish who she is and why she's there. So initially Kate's like, I'm not talking to you, you're and they have this great back and forth, and then she
actually said, if I was going to kill you, as soon as you'd be dead by now. As you see, you came through the door, and then Haley's just like, all right, okay, cool. And then in the midst of that, she's like, do you want some macaroni?
It's like she sits down, starts having food.
She's just eating her food.
And they have this back and forth, and then that is like great. I think I'm looking forward to them to actually having their own bits. I think that'd be the dynamic they established in this episode between the two of them. It makes you want to see more than
definitely.
So they are going that way with her becoming the Hawkeye.
But you've seen Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
So you saw her character was very fun, like and that's how they carried on.
She's still playful, and
she's still very playful like that. Like even when she's in the midst of trying to kill someone, she's still like busting joke and all of that. Yeah.
She reminds me of my neighbours actually. I've got a neighbour who she's not Russian, she's actually Nigerian, but like the way she speaks and the dryness of her jokes and everything else, the way she plays and like just her sensibilities, exactly like my neighbour.
Okay.
But I loved her in this, like the way she.
Florence Pugh.
It makes me want to watch Black Widow. She is.
You should watch Black Widow.
You should watch that because she's brilliant in this episode. They meet. She tells her, "I'm here to basically kill Hawkeye." She's like, you don't trust him, do you? Like, what, you only known him for how long? For 5 days? And she's like, yeah, but there's a lot of good in Clint. He's made some mistakes. A lot of good. No. And then she says, she lets it out of the bag. She's been sent to kill Hawkeye. She hasn't chosen to do it off her own. Yeah. She's been hired.
Yeah. And
then we flash forward. Kate goes home again to speak to her mum. And in between doing that, she says, look, we've looked into the back of your boyfriend. There's some dubious business dealings I think you should pay a bit more attention to. So mum goes away, but it's very obvious that mum is already aware of it. But Vera Farmiga plays it very well. She doesn't say much, she just plays it all subtextually. So there's a lot of subtext play throughout this episode. Actually, 100%. It's really, really well done.
100%.
We then flash forward and we see Maya, who's talking to her second in command, and she's like, right.
He's related to her, isn't he?
I don't know if I couldn't work out about because he worked for her dad. He was second in command.
But didn't he call him uncle?
I need to watch it again.
I'm not sure. Yeah. But anyway, carry on.
So Maya goes back to her second in command. Kate Bishop meets up with her mum, and it's like the aftermath of that fight sequence that happened in the episode 4. So we find out that Kate Bishop's mum is basically, there's something going on. There's more to it than just her boyfriend being quite dark. Clearly, there's some tangled lines between mum being quite dark.
Yeah.
And then Florence Pugh decides to do a bit of investigating of her own to find out who hired her, and lo and behold, Kate Bishop's mum has hired her to kill Clint. So she texts her and says, I just thought I'd let you know, this is the person who's hired me. Kate Bishop sat down at the time with Clint and she reveals to him, she goes through this sort of shock value, my mum's hired the Black Widow to kill you. And not only is it Black Widow, but it's the sister of, of the original Black Widow. So there's a lot for him to take on. So Jerry Renner has a lot to take on this episode, which he does really, really well. Then we flash forward again, and Clint decides that I need to finish this myself. So he phones home, says to him, look, this has gone too far. They've sent a Black Widow for me. It happens to also be the sister of Natasha.
And he mentions the big guy then.
Yeah, he said, I don't want the big guy to get involved. As I mentioned on the last episode, there was someone coming, and lo and behold, he is here. So for those that want to know, Kingpin has arrived.
In Vincent D'Onofrio.
Which is even better.
It's fantastic. Which if you look at our spoiler review of Spider-Man No Way Home, you will see it connects with Charlie Cox being in that film. So we're looking for a big mishmash coming soon. Do you know what I mean?
If you love the Daredevil series, you are in for a treat. So, treat. So then it gets established, obviously she's been hired. In the meantime, Clint decides to go and take out the red, what are they called again?
The tracksuit
mafia.
Yeah.
So he goes and doesn't take them out, but he basically threatens them all by knocking them all unconscious, the rest of it. Takes Maya to the point that you think he's going to kill her and he doesn't. He reveals his face, says, look, this is me. I was Hawkeye along with Ronin, and I just want you to see my face. And he does the whole thing through sign language.
Yeah. And then he's telling her that don't let the hate make you do stuff that you know, because obviously she's got that hate for Ronin. And he had that hate for everyone because his family went, you know what I mean? So he said, look, I know, he was talking to her in sign language and saying, I know what that hate can do and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So, so carry on.
And another suspicion which I had, I definitely think it's going to happen. He then says, I was hired by your boss.
No. He said,
your dad's,
he said, and that implicates that's why I want to know the relationship between the guy, because that was obviously who he was talking about. So Hawkeye then tells her, as he's got the sword to her, that I will. There was an informant in your crew. Remember, that's what he said.
There was met with the big guy.
That told me what was going to happen, and that's why I was there. Do you know what I mean?
So when I said to you, I don't think he killed Dad, because in the comics it is obviously. It's elaborated upon in this episode. So then Maya has a great scene later on where she meets up with a number 1 or number 2 guy.
The guy that he's obviously gets then revealed as the guy.
Yeah, I think it's the guy. But there's, again, the subtext in this is played brilliantly because Maya literally just, all she does is she looks at him and she says to him, where were you the night my dad got killed? And he's just like, what is this about? Where are you going with this? And he doesn't say anything, but you can see it in his eyes, the way he plays it. It's like, shit, she knows something. And then she's doing it actually over her hands, but then what she's saying with her eyes is, you were bloody there, weren't you? And then she just walks off. And there's so much they play, like where it's Kate Bishop's mother in this episode. There's so much that's not said, but they tangle in and weave in all the bits of plot just through non-spoken dialogue, which is one of the reasons, again, why this episode is one of my favourites. Then there's a great fight. The fight scene ends. He leaves off, and I think that's pretty much is that where the episode ends? After Maya goes, and then
they show the picture of Vincent D'Onofrio with the mum. So you know something shady's going on there.
So it's like this is the person that hired me, and it happens to be by this guy, and there is Kingpin in his white suit with the mum. So it was a great episode. Lots happening, lots of bits of plot and narrative that end up becoming interspliced into this. Really interesting. So Leon, I think you're definitely going to enjoy it.
Well, you're going to enjoy it.
Stuff, but
you're just going to enjoy seeing that picture, that Vincent D'Onofrio. And they did say that was going to break the internet, didn't they? I wouldn't have got that far because everyone was expecting it anyway. But it was really pleasing to see that, especially after what we saw yesterday with Charlie Cox. So
the bit that initially threw me though is the opening of the episode, because when she disappears in the bathroom for that second, I was eating dinner at the same time, because for those that know, we all work and then we come and film this show. So I literally got home, made my dinner, got myself sorted out, stuffed my food down my throat while watching the episode. And as I'm bent down for a second to take a little bit of egg, I looked up and she disappeared and reappeared. I was like, what happened? She goes through the blip and you see the 5-year change.
Yes.
So you get to experience pure experience.
And so that doesn't happen again, if you could smash a like and subscribe and grow the channel, so he's not rushing home from work and eating,
and then sprinting to get the bus and frying up on the way here to do this episode.
Exactly.
So there's the blip happens, and we get to see. I think it's the first time we actually see it. We get to see someone disappear and reappear at the same time.
Do you know what? That confused me a little bit,
because I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, because so basically it begins with her and another, because remember because I know you won't know this, but that carries on from the end of Black Widow.
Right. Okay,
So remember the end of Black Widow, they said they were going to go set free other Black Widows.
Yes.
So that's what this one in this episode starts off with. She and another Black Widow have gone to another Black Widow who set up shop, like nice house and whatnot, to free her. But she's already been freed, isn't it?
Yes.
She's already been freed and she's married and whatnot. Right. So she goes to the bathroom and all of a sudden she just disappears. And it took me a minute to think, what the hell's going on there? Yeah. And then she reappears in the same place.
Okay.
And then the girl's talking to her and I was like, oh shit, it's the blip.
The blip.
Do you know what I mean?
Because she's talking to her 1 second, she's by herself in this house all by herself and she's with another Black Widow. Walks into the bathroom, she goes into dust, then reappears again. Then she's like all thrown off of where she's discombobulated. Walks into the room and the same character's now got a child and a husband's there. And she's like, She's like, what are you doing here? She's like, you have a child? And it's like, yeah, okay, this is what's happened. And then again, with the subtext, there's a great moment where she says, I need to go and tell Natasha. And you don't hear her say she's gone. She just looks at the just off camera to the actor she's talking to. And it's just like this knowing look of what's happened. And you don't hear anything. And it's brilliant. There's so
Although
much.
I do take issue with that. No, actually it does chime in with the end of Black Widow. Yeah, it does chime in. Because I just remembered, because she goes to Black Widow's funeral, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So that was after the blip.
Oh
yeah. So that was after the blip. So
it works. You see the blip in.
No, you see after the blip.
Oh,
because she's in her funeral. Because obviously,
yeah. But no, it's for me, it's a great episode. What did you think?
I thought it was a fantastic episode. Just seeing
Best one yet.
Yeah. Better than 3.
Just seeing Vincent D'Onofrio in that picture. The only thing that bums me out is we're only going to see him for one episode.
Yeah, there's only one more episode.
There's only one more episode.
So, but where are they going to go? Are they going to do Kingpin? Are they going to do...
This is the thing. We know that there's a lot of stuff coming. And remember, there was a story that going around that Kevin Feige was going to make some more announcements on some future projects.
Yes, I mean, Michael Cox is going to get her own show, so clearly he's going to be in that.
Right. Either his own show or movie, we don't know.
Yeah.
But obviously they're concentrating on more on Disney Plus stuff, so it's probably going to be series now.
Yeah.
When he gets to be in Spider-Man, though, that's what I'm going to like. Seeing Kingpin in Spider-Man, that's what
I'm
going to happen.
That's. But because we've seen this, we know that Luke Cage is coming to the MCU.
So Kevin Feige, if you're watching this, I've already put it on Twitter. I've tagged it onto his show reel. We spoke about it enough times. He's 6'4". He's 250,000 pounds of muscle.
I could easily be 300. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Please.
Luke Cage is over here. He has the goatee and everything.
Exactly.
And the bar leg.
Man. Just waiting for the opportunity.
And the dark skin. Everything. What more do you want?
He can box. Like, he can throw a punch.
And taekwondo.
And he can really fight.
You know what I mean? But anyway.
Please, got cheeseburgers, man.
Got these cheeseburgers, man.
And then we do Iron Fist and hire me, damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, get him Iron Fist. You know what I mean? Then we could do that patty cake thing. I still want to see that in there. I still want to see that. That was heavy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When so they did it one time. It was an accident where Iron Fist has these gold fists, and obviously he stops the punch, and then they fall back, and then they're actually fighting in the defenders, and then they go patty cake, and then they're ready for it, and then boom, that was nice. I like that.
Patty cake.
So that's our review of Hawkeye's episode 5, which he hasn't seen yet.
No. So Leon, hearing this, are you excited to see?
Yeah, very, very.
Wicked. So when are you gonna watch that?
I don't know. Before the next one.
You do the double.
Do the double.
So no, we're glad we could bring you this one by itself, because it was a lot of stuff going in. If I might have to watch it again to
I might actually
just to make sure.
Do double next week.
But tell us what you think of the episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy seeing Vincent D'Onofrio in there as Kingpin? And let us know what your thoughts are on that. And with that, the show is over. So I would just like to say quickly, if you could please like, share and subscribe and turn on your notifications, please, so you don't miss any more juicy content from us. So yeah, you can holler at me at LarryOlubamiwo on Twitter, LarryOlubamiwo on Instagram, and you can look us up on our various IMDBs. Damien, where can I get at you?
Damien Ashley Act on Twitter, Damien Ashley on Instagram, and yes, that is it.
And Leo?
You can find me here on St. Louis rolling on the
So from us